Welcome back for Week 9 NFL picks against the spread. We don't have Chris on the table. What else is new? Just kidding. But, yeah, apparently I'm 5 games back.
Whoa, hold on, Copernicus. Man, you are jumping to the gun to admit you are such a freaking loser. Let me read it in first. I mean, it's right there. It's written down, but whatever. Nonetheless, Justin wanted to jump the gate and let us know how sorry he is. Me and Chris right now are tied at 55, 61, and 3. And Justin, yes, you are 5 games behind at 50, 66, and 3. And I don't see that changing, and I definitely see Chris's picks sucking this week. So I will reclaim my spot on the top. Enough said.
All right, well, let's get into the first game.
All right, Thursday night games. We have Buffalo traveling to New York to take on the Jets. The Jets have a plus 3.5 at home.
I'm going to take Buffalo in this one. I think they got the better team, the better defense, and I don't think the spread's wide enough for me to go the other way.
Yeah, I agree. I'm definitely going to go with Buffalo. I mean, they've only lost, 2 games this year? They're in playoff hunt right now, so, hey, I don't think that's going to change this weekend. I think, honestly, they're going to get a good divisional win here this week, which sucks for our picks because we've gone unanimous again. Next up, we have the first Sunday game. We have Arizona traveling to Carolina, and Carolina has only a negative 1.5 at home.
I'm going to take the road team again, go with Atlanta. I don't think the spread matters here, but I just think Atlanta's the better team. Carolina, we've seen in recent weeks, that loss to Trubisky and the Bears was pretty bad. I'm going to go with Atlanta here.
Yeah, I actually think I'm going to go with Carolina. I'm going to split decision. This is more or less a pick'em game. A divisional game nonetheless. Both teams have had pretty fundamental losses. Atlanta losing to the Patriots, of course. Carolina getting destroyed by Trubisky and the Bears, which caught all of us off guard. Nonetheless, I think I'm going to give it to the home team. Just a split decision here. Next up, we have Tampa traveling to New Orleans to take on the Saints. The Saints have a negative 7 at home.
So normally the negative 7 would worry me, but they are at home, and the Saints defense, I feel like, is actually gaining momentum as the year goes on. Historically, New Orleans had a really bad D, but again, stepping up recently, and they've always got the offense there with Drew Brees. I'm going to take New Orleans.
There you go. I think I'm going to go with New Orleans as well. Again, they're at home. New Orleans, I think, is the better team here. And again, Drew Brees, I think, can easily score 7 points. I mean, that's just a given to me, honestly. And plus, the defense, I feel like, can hold Tampa behind them that far enough that they can cover the spread. Next up, we have Denver traveling into Philly to take on the Red Hot Eagles, and the Eagles have a negative 7 spread.
So this one's funny because under normal circumstances, I might have picked Denver, but they're actually benching Trevor Siemian, and they're going to start Brock Osweiler, is what I've heard. Honestly, I didn't even know Brock Osweiler was back on the team, but if this is really happening, yeah, I'm taking Philly, and there's not even any questions about it.
Yeah, this is Denver asking for a shit show on their side of the ball, honestly. I think the Eagles are red hot. I mean, honestly, they just signed Ajay. I don't know what that's going to do for their backfield, but they are loading their team up, and it is crazy to watch. I think, again, I said in previous episodes, the Eagles are by far probably the best team, at least in the NFC, maybe even the NFL. I don't know. We'll have to see as the season goes on, but I don't think they're going to have a problem taking on Brock Osweiler and the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, the Denver defense is great. We all know it, but you got to have an offense, and they're just not going to have one in this game.
Not at all. Next up, Cincinnati travels to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars, and the Jags have a negative 2.5 at home.
I don't know why the spread isn't wider. I'm taking Jacksonville here. It's one of those things where Dalton, he can play against bad defenses, but when he goes up against a top-flight defense, he always does terrible. I just don't see how Cincinnati is going to come up with this one. That's such a small spread, too. I don't like it. I'll take Jags.
Again, wearing the Ravens banner, I don't want to open up old wounds. But again, the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Ravens went to London. The Jags shut the Ravens down, completely dismantling the Ravens. The Cincinnati Bengals can't hold a candle to the Ravens. So I don't think they're even going to have a remote issue doing it this week. I think, honestly, this spread is way too small, and the Jags for sure are going to get this.
Yeah, I think out of all the ones we've gone through, this is the one I put a bet on, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, this is the one I'm putting a bet on. No question. Next up, my Baltimore Ravens travel to Tennessee to take on the Titans. The Titans have a negative 4.5 spread.
This is a close call, but I am going to take Tennessee. I'm guessing you're going to take Baltimore. But Tennessee, here's the thing, is that they have a really good run defense. I think all the Ravens are going for them on offense right now is the run game. So if that can get neutralized, you got to rely on Joe Flacco to push the ball down the field. I don't like the odds for the Ravens here. I'm going to take Tennessee.
But you failed to say what was the most important aspect of the big win last week, and that is the Ravens defense. Can the Ravens defense cause issues? And I'm putting my money on yes, for sure. The Ravens are going to travel to Tennessee. I think they're going to get a pretty good win. I think they're going to cover the spread easily. This is my honest, bold prediction here, because I'm sure a lot of you are watching and saying, what the hell are you smoking? Well, you know what? I'm a big Ravens fan, so I'm smoking a little bit of the purple. And the Ravens for sure are going to get a win this weekend. Next up, we have the Colts traveling to Houston. Now, update today, we find out that Deshaun Watson has tore his ACL. There are fantasy owners everywhere crying, and he is out for the season. This is sad, tragic, because the kid was on a roll, probably shooing for Rookie of the Year, and sadly his season's being cut short. Now, at the current moment, and I'm sure the odds are going to change, so again, if you're placing bets on this, make sure you check the odds. Right now, it has Houston with a negative 11.5. I don't even remotely think that's going to come close, but Justin, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, this spread is probably going to change before you try to bet on this game, but for right now, we're using the opening spreads. They're saying it's plus 11.5 for the Colts. Honestly, if that's still there, you got to take it. Colts plus 11.5 with Deshaun Watson out, and they're starting Tom Savage. That's a no-brainer pick.
Yeah, again, this is a no-brainer, again, with the way the odds are and with the fact Deshaun Watson's not playing. Again, it will probably be updated, I guarantee, probably by tomorrow, which would be Friday. But right now, I'm going to have to go with Indianapolis covering the spread easily, no question. And that's only for the sake of injury. Again, a tragic injury, though.
Indeed.
Next up, your LA Rams travel to New York to take on the Giants. And the Giants have a plus 3.5 at home.
Yeah, I'm going with the Rams here. I think it's a good chance for Jared Goff to show what he's got. You know, the last 2 games, he hasn't done a whole lot. It's been more just allowing the running game and the defense take its course. But I think he's going to open it up this one. That Giants defense has actually not been anywhere near as good as people thought it would be this year. So I think they're going to get carved up at home.
Yep, this is curtain call on the Eli Manning show, honestly. This is the end for him. I think this is probably going to be... If it isn't his last season, I don't think he'll I think there are probably going to be some quarterback competition next year. I have no doubts about it. The Giants are going to be looking to revamp their team in years to come, at least next year. But I think for sure the Rams are in a good position to go away and get a good win on the East Coast. They're taking a Giants team that's just battered and bruised. There's no way I can give it to the Giants. No way. Next up, the Redskins travel to Seattle to take on the Seahawks, where the Seahawks have a negative 6 spread.
I'm going to take Seattle here. Seattle's at home. They always do a good job at home. And on top of that, Washington's got some problems with their offensive line. I just smell a bad game coming for Kirk Cousins here, so I'm going to go with Seattle.
Yeah, last week showed Washington being Washington, shooting themselves in the foot. And I don't think that's going to change them traveling to the West Coast to take on Seattle. For sure, I think Seattle definitely will cover the spread and get a good win here. Next up, we have Arizona traveling to San Francisco. And again, even though San Francisco has Jimmy Garoppolo, reports are coming out that Jimmy Garoppolo probably won't start this week. Which, for me, pick him up on my fantasy team. I was, throwing a bone out there, see what happens. But backfired on me, definitely. But yeah, so... San Francisco has a +1 at home.
This is another one that's kind of close, kind of tough to make a call here because the Cardinals, you got to remember, lost Carson Palmer for what's likely going to be the whole year. They got Drew Stanton playing, so we're going to have Drew Stanton going up against C.J. Beathard, a rookie quarterback. So I expect both offenses to be a little bit of a shit show, but at the same time, the 49ers defense I think is worse than the Cardinals defense, and the Cardinals have Adrian Peterson. If they can get him going, that could open something up. So I will go with the Cardinals here, the away team.
Adrian Peterson is definitely the X factor this weekend, honestly, for the Cardinals, and he may have to put the team on his back for them to get a win. I think he does it. As I went on a bold prediction saying he goes off in his first game to the Cardinals, he did. And I think he's going to have a good game this week because, honestly, that's the only thing they're going to have. Now, again, you're probably saying, well, if they don't have a pass game, that means the defense is only going to be focusing on the run. I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. I think they're going to create some type of balance, some check down passes, something to throw the defense off just a little bit to get Adrian running. And I think that's why I'm going for Arizona this weekend. Next up, we have Kansas City traveling to Dallas, in which probably, I believe, is going to be the biggest game of the week. Dallas has a -1. Now, at the current moment, reports are coming out that Ezekiel Elliott is not playing, but again, he has a better lawyer than Johnny Cochran for O.J. Simpson in the early 90s. So he probably may end up playing. Who knows? But nonetheless, the odds stand at -1 for Dallas. Justin.
Well, we're talking about Chris's favorite team here, the Dallas.
And we can trash him because he's not here.
Honestly, I like Kansas City to go in here and win this game. I mean, it's just one of those things where there's confusion over if Ezekiel Elliott going to play or not, of course, but I think even if he does play, like I just, with the spread being so small, it's basically a pick 'em. Mm-hmm. Kansas City has been a great team this year, and I'm going to take them here in this one.
They really have been one of the better teams in the AFC, Kansas City. Traveling to Dallas, again, that is a tough place to play. Is Ezekiel Elliott going to play? It looks like this late in the week, probably not. And again, that creates a lot of distraction for Dallas. I truly believe, honestly, that this has been a huge distraction for Dallas this year, honestly. And it'll probably be one of the reasons why they don't go to the playoffs. Yes, Dallas fans, send a hate mail. Come on, hit my DMs. Let me know. Yeah, I got to feel and watch and trust and believe. But no, I honestly, it's tough. And it is sad because it's just been this roller coaster all season. Is he playing? Is he not? And I imagine it's hell for the coaches because coming from being a coach and doing game planning, you're playing for the players that you have. And they don't know if they have their running back from week to week. It's got to be tough. And for that reason alone, I'm going to give this game to Kansas City. Again, Kansas City is one of the best teams in the AFC. If it was a less distracted Dallas Cowboys, might change my pick. But it is virtually a pick 'em game, and it's -1. That means they literally have to score a safety, and there it is. But I think for sure, yeah, Kansas City definitely going to go into Dallas and probably get a good win this weekend.
I agree.
Next up, we have Oakland traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Dolphins have a +2.5, and why is this the Sunday night game? Jesus, NFL.
So, as we know, Jay Ajayi was traded to the Eagles for a draft pick. So that now we got Miami with, I'm guessing Cutler's going to play this game, right?
I'd imagine.
So,
doesn't matter.
It doesn't. I'm going to go with Oakland here. It's hard to envision a scenario where Miami's offense really gets going here. The two running backs they have, I don't think are the same level of talent as Ajayi, really. They might surprise us, but with that Oakland defense might allow actually some runs, but I don't know, man. It's just, I think you'll get Oakland's offense is just so much better. So it's hard to go with Miami here.
Way more put together team in Oakland against the Miami Dolphins who, what is going on in Miami?
I know, we saw what the Ravens did to them.
Hey, listen, we're a solid defense. Enough said. Whatever. But, jeez. No, Miami no. There's no way in the world I could even pick Miami. I think even a +2.5 at home is even a little bit too much for them. No, there's no way. So for sure, I'm going with Oakland. They're just a better rounded team, and I think, honestly, they're going to get a good away victory here.
Miami is just, I got to say, they're one of the most poorly run franchises in the whole league. They haven't been good since, the 70s.
They're about as bad as the Browns. Throw them in the same bag with the Browns. They're just not good teams. Not at all. Not in the least bit, honestly. But, nonetheless, we got to pick them, and we're picking Oakland. So, boom. Next up, our Monday night game. Right now, it is a pick'em between the Detroit Lions, who traveled to Green Bay to take on the Packers. I'm surprised there isn't odds for them yet, but nonetheless, we still got to pick them.
Yeah, I'm going to go with away team Detroit Lions to come into Lambeau Field and get a win. Aaron Rodgers done for the year. Of course, we all know that. It's old news. But, yeah, Detroit's just a complete team. They have an offense. They have a great defense. And it is a division rivalry, but I like Detroit here.
Yeah, I like Detroit too. Again, that defense is legit. Not sure what happened last week against the Steelers. Everybody has... You run into roadblocks. It happens. But, nonetheless, I think they're having a good game this week. The Green Bay Packers still have Huntley as their quarterback, so I don't think he's going to really put up much of a fight against the Detroit Lions. So, yeah, for sure, I'm going with Detroit.
So that's going to do it for this week's picks. And guys, we want to hear from you. Give us your comments. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what picks you agree and disagree with. If you have any other questions about other things to bet on or the spreads as they're changing, go ahead and reply in the comments, and we'll make sure to get back to you.
Yeah, and don't forget to check out our video we're having out coming actually around the same day, so it should be out soon. We're covering the UFC fight this week. Our buddy Pat's going to be on the show. Justin and Pat are going to cover that, and yeah, just stay tuned.